What's going on, guys? Garrett here, and welcome back to the next video of the Building a Portfolio Website with React series. I think it's called that. In the previous video, we set up the routes, so now we can go to homepage, about page, contact page, so on and so forth. Well, there's only 3 pages, but the routing all works now. In this video on my website, I have this hero section right here. That's actually its own component that takes in the state from our from our main app page, which then gets passed down into the home page, which then gets passed down yet again into the hero component. So in this video, we are going to be making that hero component. I called it Jumbo in my own website, which I don't really like the name. So we're going to call it Hero right now and going forward. And then in the following videos, we will finish the home page and then move on to the about page and the contact page. Okay, so let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to open up that components folder yet again, and we're going to type in hero.js. So this component is going to be called hero. And we will do the same thing that we always do to start out a new component, which is import React from React. Next, because this component isn't going to need any state, we're just going to make a functional component in which we will return, for right now, nothing. And make sure to export this as the default, otherwise it won't work. We can just say, that's cool. Doesn't fix that automatically. We can just say hero works, just like we did in the last video. And now, instead of having this homepage works, let's use our awesome component that we just made. That's going to give us an error. That's totally fine because we're not actually expecting it to work. We're going to call this hero from, and then where are we? What am I? Who am I? Where am I? Is the question. We're in pages, so we're going to go up one folder into components and then /hero. And this should now work. It does right there. Awesome. We're now ready to start actually making something out of this. So let's go back to, we can actually get out of the contact page there. Let's go back to the hero component, and what we'll do now is we will use a Jumbotron from React. Not React, sorry. Jumbotron. This is from Bootstrap, actually. And so what we need to do is we need to import Jumbotron from React-bootstrap/Jumbotron. And that shouldn't give us an error anymore. Now, as you can see, we get this gray box thing, which is perfect because that means that it's working. However, it's not really what we want right now. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and build the entire thing with no custom styling, just so that we can see what is going on and that it actually works. And then we'll go back and we'll style it the way that we want to. So inside of here, we will have a container. And then inside of that container, we will have a row. Don't worry, this isn't going to work right now, but we will go back and import everything. And then inside of that row, we will have a column. Now, these, we're not going to be going over React or Bootstrap for React in this video, or in this series rather, but these are just some components that this React Bootstrap library gives us to be able to use Bootstrap within React in a very clean manner. And inside here, we're going to have some props. Actually, we're going to come back to the props. 1 minute. So we'll just put an H2 in that basically just says Garrett Love for now. And since I saved that, it doesn't work. And so now we can go and fix it by importing everything. And I will just copy and paste just to save time. We need to import container. We need to import row. And we need to import column. And we now don't have any more errors. Not only do we not have any more errors, but this now works. So you can see Garrett Love is there the way that it should be. Okay, now let's work on getting the props to actually show up here so that this all works. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this awesome thing that React has. Well, I don't know if this is necessarily a React specific thing. I think it's a JavaScript thing. But this is something that you'll probably end up using a lot in React, which is basically like an alternative way of conditionally rendering things instead of writing out an if statement, which can get kind of verbose. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to use this syntax, which is parentheses, and then inside of there, you check for what you want, and then you display something based on that. If you're interested in how this works or why this works, I have this other series that I was kind of doing where I basically just walked through the React documentation as I was teaching myself React like a couple weeks ago. It's not done. I think I got up to like the 6th part under the main concepts. I do have the intentions of going back and finishing that, but I did cover this. And so if you're interested in learning about how that works, you can go and watch that video. I think it was pretty informative. So here we're going to do props. We'll say title, and then we'll have and then we will say the tag or the whatever we want to happen if this ends up being true. And we will just say props. That's giving me an error because we didn't import props. We will go do that. Props title, and then we will send in props here. That error will go away. And then what we're going to do is we'll copy that 2 more times. We'll go here, and this will be subtitle. And then we'll go here, and this will be text instead of subtitle. And also, these will be H3s, as will these. Okay, that's not going to show anything. And the reason that's not going to show anything is because we're not actually showing anything. Or passing anything, rather. So what we can do is we can type in title, which basically adds a prop to this. So whatever we pass in here will get passed in as the title. So if I say, hey, 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 then we get hey, hey, and hey, yeah, or something like that. So in this case, we're not going to do that. We're going to pass in props title, and then we get be relentless here, which, if you remember, is what I put in for the title of my homepage. So pretty cool. The next thing that we want to pass in was the subtitle. So if I say subtitle, then this will be props.subtitle, and you'll see that gets passed in as well. The last thing was the text, which I still don't think is a good name, but that's what I called it, so whatever. Text, and we get that as well. This now means that we are ready to start styling things and making it look a lot better, because this and this don't look the same or even remotely close. So let's start styling that. So in React, instead of a class, we're going to be using a class name. That's just the different name that React calls things to not have any confusion and probably some other reasons. So we're going to have BG transparent. Now I'm going to be using actually all Bootstrap classes. So this is why having Bootstrap installed is pretty important, because this is a Bootstrap design in the end. If you want to go make your own classes, I mean, what this is right now is pure CSS. I'm just adding CSS classes. So if you don't want to follow along with this part, this isn't actually going to be React stuff. It's just passing in CSS basically. So you can kind of style it however you want. The next thing that we're going to do is we will have Jumbotron fluid, because I don't know if you can't see it right now, but if I go back to how this is, I don't know if it's pretty hard to see, but it's actually not all the way to the end. There's some like corners here, kind of like rounded off. And so I don't want that. You might want that, but I don't really want that. And so that's why I'm going to make it fluid so that there are no corners there. And then the transparent obviously makes it so that it inherits whatever background you have on there. You can also have your own background. It's totally up to you. I'm going to have a padding of 0. And then on this container, I'm going to set this to be fluid and true. And then inside of this row, I will have a class name as well. And I'm going to say justify content to be center. So now everything should be centered, although it's not, which is cool. Oh, the reason that it's not is because if I make this column to only be 8, then it will be. But if I take away this justify center, then it won't be. So the reason was because it was already taking up the entire width by default, I believe. And so if something is the entire width of something else, of its parent thing, and it's supposed to center itself, it can't, because it already is technically centered. So anyway, so that does that. We'll come back here and we will also add a padding Y of 5. That's a vertical padding within the Jumbotron / hero component that we've now created. And also, just so that this can be, I think, a little bit better in responsiveness, we'll make this small 10 columns, or 12 columns rather, so that when we go like this, it takes up the whole width, because I think if we had it to be 8, it actually looks the same. But I think in general, when it's a small screen like this, you want it to take up the entire width. You don't want to be splitting things down the middle or anything like that. If we had this to be, I think let's try 6. Is this considered small, or? Oh, there it is. So this is small. This is extra small. Yeah. You guys can play around with that to get the responsiveness. That's a Bootstrap thing. Just depends on how you want it to look. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually style all the text here. And so we will, on this first one, say display 1, as well as font weight bolder, and we'll get really, really big font there. Okay. On the next one, we're going to go a little bit smaller, and we'll have display 4, and then font weight will be light. Awesome. So big, but not as big. And then on this last one, what we're going to do is we will have it be a lead, which is a different kind of sizing. And then font weight light as well. And then it's still kind of, I think, big, a little bit bigger than like normal text, but definitely there's some hierarchy here, and that's kind of what we need. So this, and the reason this doesn't look like that is because I actually have different styling that I changed for this tutorial because I think it looks better. But in general, yeah, this looks better than kind of what I have, and so I kind of switched it up. But so that's why it doesn't look exactly the same. But that is it for this video, because we just finished making the hero component within our portfolio. So in the next video, we're going to be tackling this part right here, which is, I think, pretty cool, which is like the display kind of work portfolio section. And it'll kind of show up when we click on it, and if we click on it again, it'll go away, and only one can be displayed at the same time, obviously, and they fade in and out. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So that video will be coming in the next like couple days or so. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments. If you want me to tackle anything else after I'm done with this series, also let me know down in the comments. And if you hate these videos and you think that I could be doing better or something like that, let me know why down in the comments, because I'm always looking to improve. That's definitely something that I want to be doing as much as possible. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I've really been enjoying the feedback that I've been getting from these videos, and I just hope you guys are enjoying. So I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.